are in Yorkton, Saskatchewan, and it is windy. I'm sure the windsock I have over the camera is not filtering out all the noise. Just on our way from Saskatoon. Yorkton's a great place to stop. Great little airport, really nice people, fantastic place. Really windy though. My landing gear was pretty sporty. Maybe I'll show you some of that. I'll see how bad it looks when I get into the edit. But today we're going back to Steinbach, Manitoba, and I'm going to visit the place that makes my favorite tortilla chip. Nacho chip, tortilla chip. Where do you fall on that? Let me know down below. What do you call it? But the best ones I've ever had are made just outside Steinbach, Manitoba. So we're gonna get a factory tour. So we're gonna jump in the plane, and it's about a 2.5 hour flight from here to Steinbach. And then we're gonna eat some nacho chips. Regina Radio, Foxtrot Mike Victor Uniform.
Foxtrot Mike Victor Uniform, Radio.
Regina Radio, Foxtrot Mike Victor Uniform, Cessna 172 on the Yorkton ramp on a filed VFR flight plan to Steinbach. I'm ready to taxi. I'm intending to taxi Alpha 04 and depart on runway 13.
Roger, runway 13. Do you have AWAS weather?
I have the current weather, Mike Victor Uniform.
Roger, thanks. No reported traffic. Your squawk code is 5121. Taxi and depart your discretion. Report your point.
5121, taxi and depart at my discretion, Mike Victor Uniform. Airspeed's alive. Regina Radio, Foxtrot Mike Victor Uniform, airborne off of 13 Yorkton.
Mike Victor Uniform, Roger. Your flight plan is open.
Winnipeg Center, Foxtrot Mike Victor Uniform, beginning descent to Steinbach North.
Mike Victor Uniform, Roger. Mike Victor Uniform, no radar observed traffic. Descent at your discretion and cleared en route frequencies. Good day.
Cleared en route. Thank you very much for your help, Mike Victor Uniform. Steinbach North, Foxtrot Mike Victor Uniform, Cessna 172, currently 10 miles southwest of the field, inbound for landing. Planning to cross over the field and look at the windsock to determine whether to use 15 or 33. Wheels over the runway in 6 minutes, Steinbach North. Steinbach North, Foxtrot Mike Victor Uniform, crossing midfield to join the mid-left downwind runway 15, full stop, Steinbach North. Steinbach North, Foxtrot Mike Victor Uniform, turning base to final, runway 15, full stop, Steinbach North. Steinbach North, Foxtrot Mike Victor Uniform, clear of runway 15 on Alpha, Steinbach North. Hi Jody, I'm Glen.
Good
Nice to meet you.
Glenn. Well,
Pat,
Glenn.
Pat, nice to meet you.
Good to meet you. Welcome here.
So we're at La Cocina
Yes.
in Manitoba.
Yes.
So you are a nacho chip and tortilla manufacturer in Manitoba.
Correct.
We're what, an hour south of Winnipeg?
Yes.
How did this start?
The company started back in 1984.
Okay.
My dad and his two sisters. His two sisters lived in Mexico for a number of years and brought back their Mexican recipes. And they wanted to recreate the corn tortilla that they had in Mexico.
Okay.
So they started what's called a little tortilleria.
In 1984, that quite possibly was unheard of here.
It was a completely revolutionary product, and it actually wasn't that well received.
Okay.
Outside of the local population, people didn't know what to do with a corn tortilla in 1984.
Yep.
So his pivot was chips,
Mm-hmm.
and he used the same oven that he had and the same mixer, and that's how the company is La Cocina Tortilla Chips started.
So the chips I find really interesting. The first time I had chips, I was here last year,
Yep.
training, doing some flight training. Bought a bag at the grocery store, and I was like, "What is this? This is totally different than any tortilla chip I've ever had."
Yep.
How did your father get to that point? Like, what was his frame of reference to get there?
So there was a lot of trial and error.
Okay.
And because nobody in Canada was really doing that type of thing back in the day, a lot of the things that we now know are unique about the product he was just figuring it out.
Okay.
So there's many different little secrets along the way, different blends of corn that he tried, different way of frying, different process when it comes to salting, and all that came together for him was just how he did it because he developed it on his own. He didn't have a guideline how to make tortilla chips.
So as much as we think of tortilla chips as a Southwest Mexican product, this is really 100% Manitoba.
100%. Yeah.
Uniquely Canadian product.
Yep.
Which is absolutely amazing to me. It's fantastic. And the facility is huge. You're making a lot of chips.
Yes.
Where are they going?
They're going nationally across Canada. We're in the 5 major banners, as well as many smaller independents. And they go all across Canada, coast to coast, as well as we do ship some to the US as well. So.
And so the company is now yours. You
Yes.
took it over from your family.
Yep.
Have you made major improvements to the company? Have you expanded?
We've expanded. The facility you're in
Yep.
is all after we took over.
Okay.
When we took over, it was in a 4,200 square foot building. We had we didn't have any employees. Jody and I did all the processing. We did all the shipping. We did all the food safety. We did everything. So it was us two, and now we're in the facility you're in, which is about 100,000 square feet. We have 65 employees, and so it's changed a lot.
It's changed a lot, but how did you keep the product the same?
So that whole journey was a long process of, as we were running out of capacity in our old plant, a lot of reverse engineering to do the things that my dad had done, just building the equipment and that type of thing. We had to go back to the drawing board essentially and say, how can we recreate his equipment in a bigger scale?
And so you mentioned earlier that when we walk through the plant, there's a lot of stuff I'm not going to be able to film because it is made in-house. Like
Correct.
It is completely unique
Yep.
to this company.
That's correct.
Made locally, and which leads to the product being totally unique, which comes back to that how unique this really is.
Correct.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Let's go see some corn tortillas being made.
I love it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
And so you said earlier this is a proprietary mix of different types of corn
Correct.
that your father came across as making the best tortilla chip.
Correct. So today, yeah, we would be blending up 3 different varieties. My dad, way back, started it by just trial and error, blending things up, and came up with what he felt was like the perfect recipe, and we still do that today.
And so that's the corn after it's been mixed.
That's right. That's like it's almost like the texture of Play-Doh. Like it's very malleable. This is where it's already all been blended up here, and it's ready to go to the sheeter.
And so that's just corn masa and water.
Yep.
That's all
right.
that's in there.
That's it.
And then it just automatically feeds up.
Yes. Just gets pressed between these two rollers. This is what sheets out the dough.
And so what am I seeing here with the sheeter? It rolls it thin.
So it rolls it thin, and then it comes out on the front roller, and there's a white stripper wire that pulls it off, peels them down.
Okay. And so it cuts it at the same time in the machine then.
Correct. There's a cutter underneath there. You can see it rolling up against the back.
Ah.
That's what sets the shape. So this is the natural gas 3-pass oven.
So the chips make 3 passes through the oven, and then they're baked. So these are freshly baked.
Correct.
And about to go into the fryer.
Correct.
Is there anything special about the oil you use?
There is.
Okay.
Yeah.
No one wants to give away the secret sauce?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Then immediately after the fryer, they get salted
So you're baking and then frying.
and fried.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what we're looking at right now then is chips that have just come out of the fryer and been salted.
Correct. They won't get fresher than that.
No.
All right, so what we got here is the original variety. Just came out of the salter fryer, and you can see they got a little bit of a scoop.
Yep.
They're the thin chip. Got the perfect toast points on them. Just ready to go.
So these are the first ones I had.
Correct.
Yeah. There's something about these that is just so different from any other nacho chip I've ever had.
Yep.
And this is what your father came up with.
This is his recipe.
This is the original one.
Yep.
They're amazing.
That's awesome.
Find these. Seek them out. We got to keep going, otherwise I'm going to eat all of those.
So here they're getting bagged, sealed up. Every bag gets a serial number so that you can, so it's identifiable and traceable. And they go through a metal detector for their final passive check. Then they go through box taper, and that's where all the codes are printed on. And then from there they get put in cases, pelleted, and sent to the warehouse.
Beautiful morning here in Steinbach, Manitoba. That sun is strong. So we're heading southeast, back towards Oshawa. I had a great time yesterday in La Cocina. I hope you enjoyed the tour. It's my favorite tortilla chip, and I hope that you get a chance to taste them too. There were some things in the factory that I couldn't show you. There were some proprietary machines that they had made themselves that they didn't want other people to see. They also didn't want me to show you the mix of corn that they use, because that is a secret to their crispness and their flavor. So, glad you came along for this one. Leave comments down below and tell me what you thought about the last few videos where we went to Canada Goose and Black Fox and the travel. I'm going to be adding more and more of these videos to the channel. We're still going to be doing all of the maintenance work. There's a video coming up where I travel to the Lycoming facility in Pennsylvania with Flight Chops. Steve and I flew down there. He was having a 500-hour inspection done on his engine, and you should go over to his channel and check out that video. I was down there to talk to the team about putting a Lycoming in the front of Mike Victor Uniform. So stay tuned to see how that works out. I guess we're off into the blue, and I will see you next time. Steinbach North, Foxtrot Mike Victor Uniform rolling on runway 33, right hand turnout climbing 5,500 eastbound towards Dryden. Steinbach North. Airspeed's alive, everything's in the green. We're off.
so hard to find my way. Now that I'm all on my own, I saw you just the other day. My, how you have grown. Cast my memory back there, Lord. Sometimes I'm overcome thinking about making love in the green grass behind the stadium with you, my brown-eyed girl. And you, my brown-eyed girl. Do you remember when we used to sing? Sha-la-la.